Welcome to the No Dress Code Pod, where we keep it real, celebrate Black excellence, and dive into the things that matter most. Tune in, vibe out, and let's get into it. Welcome to another episode of the No Dress Code Pod. I'm your favorite host, as well as your favorite hoochie, legs out, not open, Bree. And to my first-time listeners, thank you. And to my returning guests, you already know what I'm going to say because you already know how I feel about you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because without you, where would I be? So before we get today's episode started, you already know what I'm about to ask you. You already know what I'm going to say. I hope that you guys are having an amazing week. I need to do a mental health check-in, though. Because that you know, we start every episode with a mental health check-in. I need to do a mental health check-in and see how you guys are doing. How's your week been? Drop it in the comments and let me know how your week's been. Now, I hope you had an amazing week. But if you didn't, drop it in the comments and let me know. There's nothing I could do for you in this moment, but continue to speak it over you and pray that your week going forward is amazing. So like I said, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to let you guys in on my weeks, trying to get y'all my weekly update as well. So as we can see, I took the twist down. I'm a little, I don't know, like very, I don't know. I kind of it's a transition back to doing my own hair. The twists are so convenient, so easy. Love them down. The transition back to doing my own hair is like, woo, baby. But anyways, let's back to this week. So the hair's gonna give what the hair gives, okay? That's what I was saying with that. The hair's gonna give what the hair gives. Other than that, it's been a great week knowing that this is episode 52. And if you don't know the significance of episode 52, let me go ahead and tell you. There are 52 weeks in a year, which means NDC has made its year episode. Although, we did make a year already. But no need to talk about spoiled milk. So we have made our 52nd episode. Meaning we've officially made our 1-year episode. So that's exciting. And I thought, what better way to bring in the official 1-year episode other than wearing the official merch? Like, let me show it off for you one time again. Again, it's available for purchase if you want one. You just DM me and let me know. So today's episode is kind of going to not necessarily piggyback off of, or reminisce of today's episode. So today's episode is basically a reflection of everything we've learned in the year. Right? Well, not everything, because obviously we've learned a lot more than we have time to share. So I decided to do one lesson per episode. Some of it's going to be about podcasting. Some of it's going to be about people. Some of it's going to be about purpose, but it's all going to revolve around growth. So whether you've been a loyal listener from day one, or this is your first listen today, okay, still appreciate you. We're slowing it down this episode and we are celebrating the journey. Some of these lessons are lessons on the mic. Some of these are lessons about the mess. But all of these are real lessons and they're all mine. Okay. So let's get into it. So I want to first start this off by talking about the early lessons, the structure days, this is less of a hobby and more of a commitment days. Okay. In those days, I learned that consistency builds confidence. Not every episode needs to go viral to be valuable. Because, baby, let me tell you, I did the Jonathan Majors episode when he was still dealing with the incident. Don't quote me. I think he's had 2 incidents. I'm talking about the first one with the white girl. And baby, that ain't getting no views on YouTube. Okay, so trust me when I say not every episode has to be viral and consistency. I also learned in the early days that nobody, and I mean nobody's raggedy ass son is worth sacrificing the program. Nobody is bigger than the program. I can change whatever I don't like. The vibe, the look, the feel, the concept, the format, the schedule. I could change it all. One of the most valuable lessons I learned in the early days is how I should say this. Is a signed release will save so much headache. Baby, get the release signed. Okay, I learned my lesson one time. I've had, okay, so let me clarify. I've had plenty of guests come on this show and not sign releases. But I had one guest come on this show and show me why everybody needs to sign a release. And everybody done signed a release since then. Like, get the release signed. Creative, baby. Once I did that, oh my goodness, that changed the game for me. I'll say that a lot about a lot of things, but you know, the game is constantly changing. So that changed the game for me. Love me a signed release. I learned is that not every story is meant for the mic. I can be a very dramatic person. I can be a very emotional person. I'll say emotional and other people can say dramatic. And I've come to realize that sometimes I have big emotions and I cannot run to the mic with my big emotions all the time because sometimes when I calm down, I don't feel the same in my big emotion. And I would like to forget my big emotion may have even existed, but I've already gone and told the world about my big emotion, and now I can't forget it exists. Even if I take it down, I can't forget it exists. So I have learned that not everything is for the mic, baby. I learned was I don't owe anybody my vulnerability if it's not for me to. I do like, and I do like how people DM me and tell me that, you know, me being vulnerable, they appreciate my vulnerability. I appreciate, you know, you appreciating it because it really did take a lot to get me there, and it took a lot to keep me here, type of thing. So, um to be appreciated in something that was already scary to begin with. It was already like, I don't really know. I don't know, but authenticity is it. So I had to learn, sometimes I just have to allow my vulnerabilities to show. But it needs to show in a way that is healthy and happy for me. Sometimes it's not ADHD, I'm just overwhelmed and tired. Sometimes I can't concentrate, but sometimes I'm just overstimulated and I'm tired and I just need that rest. And speaking of rest, my next point was I still deserve rest even when I'm behind. Now, I will say I try my best not to be behind. I do, I try my best. I will admit I've had a few weeks where, especially in the beginning, more so, but a few weeks recently, where I, in my opinion, have been pushing it on time. So it's like I am tired, but I really can't afford that rest because this episode has to be out. Consistency, it has to be out. I do deserve rest even when I'm behind, but I do my best to try to not be too behind that I can't afford that rest. Growth doesn't always look like more listeners. Sometimes it looks like deeper connection. And baby, I'm not saying I get millions of comments. Obviously, if you guys go through any of my videos, you can see the comments that I get. But I do appreciate the comments that do come in when they come in. And yeah, 1 million subscribers would be nice. Speaking into existence, 1 million subscribers would be nice. But I also just like that, people are starting to comment. I don't get comments on every video, but I do get comments on videos. So I remember when I was posting and I wasn't getting comments, like, at all. Maybe a like. And I'm getting those too. I've had a thumbs down too, so I won't sit here and be like it's all sunshine and roses, but it just lets me know people are enjoying it. Even if you thumbs down it, you listened. So I like that. If it feels like too much, I can cut off the world and reset. And I'm going to cut the world off in a minute. Okay, I do not play no games. I do not play no games. I've been consistent though. So even when I've shut the world off in other aspects of life, I have not shut the world off in this aspect. And that's important to me. Leaving a group chat is self-care. As a matter of fact, you're not even putting me in a group chat. I hate group chats. I don't know what it is. I silence them. You can put me in them because I don't want to read. Sometimes I might want to be nosy. I don't know. I really think mine is like trauma from toxic shit I've been in. But you can put me in it. I'm probably gonna silence it. Depending on how lit that group chat is, I'm probably gonna silence it. But you could definitely put me in it. Just don't expect a lot from me. The 13th thing, because I haven't listed them for you guys, but here's number 13 of things I've learned within my 52 episodes. If you follow me on Instagram, I feel like you already know. A Costco hot dog can be good for the soul. Okay. For the soul. Costco don't sponsor me yet, but I really feel like they should. I really feel like they should. I mean, anytime I meal prep on Instagram, it's Costco food. Only hot dogs I eat, Costco food. Yeah, I really feel like Costco should be sponsoring me at this point, but we'll see. Let's hope for it. Let's keep talking about it and hope for it. So that was the foundational stuff of the foundation, right? Stuff that made sure I didn't quit before I even got the chance to really be good at it. Now, let me tell y'all the lessons I learned that taught me how to move with purpose. These ones are more so about learning to lead myself, about boundaries, ownership, and listening to myself. I've learned that I work better when I give myself structure. Which is crazy that it took me doing this to learn or to like acknowledge that, but I work better when I give myself structure. Like when I know this does this for me in this order. It may not do it in this order for you, but for me, I work better and I work more effectively doing it in this order. And then I work off that structure. Like I work from this category first. I do this. I make sure this is handled. Then I make sure this is handled. I do this. And then it's just like, girl, we could have been working smarter, not harder, a long time ago had we figured this out. Another lesson I've learned is that saying no is a form of protection, and saying yes is an act of hope. Those was two different ones. That's two different lessons I learned. Another one is that my standards are not high, they're mine. And more than likely, my standards are not high enough, if I'm being honest. They're not high the fuck enough. Every time I hit record, I prove something to myself. I'm not a perfectionist. I'm someone who gives a damn. Okay, especially about my baby in DC over here. Okay, especially about my baby. Cause it's like it's never good enough. It's never not even content wise. It's just like, oh, I could cut this out. I should have cut this out. I should have added that. I should have did this. I should have did that. And it's just like, baby, sometimes you just gotta submit. You recorded it, you edited it. Sometimes you just gotta say fuck it and let it go. It's never gonna be perfect. Never gonna be perfect. I learned my story doesn't need a polished bow to be valuable. Another lesson is there's power in not forcing something. Feelings are valid, but they're not always facts. And although I like to joke and hee and kiki and all that, and my feelings sometimes do feel like facts. My feelings do be facts to me. They may not be factual, but they're facts to me. And I do not play about my feelings at all. Lesson 23 is I can sit in silence. 24, timelines are suggestions, not mandates. 25 is some episodes were for me more than anybody else. I told y'all I don't have therapy no more. Okay, my therapist was amazing, but I don't have therapy no more. So this is therapy, me and you. Now, not every episode is going to register for you. Not every episode is going to be what you need for your therapist at this point. But this is what me and my therapist need. This is what my therapist chose for me this week. 26, I learned was that I don't need to monetize everything to make it meaningful. When I say complete chef's kiss, those lessons of the 26 lessons that I've shared so far, those were lessons that helped me trust myself more. Right? Those were lessons that helped me stay grounded. Because, baby, when you create publicly, you damn sure better know yourself privately. Well, my next lessons that I learned were about protecting the program. Because nobody's bigger than the program. It was about focus. These lessons are about discipline. These lessons are about honoring the work even when nobody's watching. Even when nobody's clapping. Being consistent is more important than being loud. Being consistent is more powerful than being loud. Consistency is key. Like, literally cannot say that enough. Like, that is one lesson I learned more than anything. Consistency is key. Like, people say it all the time, and we say it enough, but we don't say it enough. Consistency is really key. My confidence grew after each upload, especially when we started going visual. Okay. My confidence just grew with every upload because, baby, if you ain't confident when you upload, you just ain't gonna do it. You ain't. Like, you will find every blemish wrong, every pimple possible, every this, that, and the third. Lesson 29 is the program is bigger than any distractions. Okay? Bigger than somebody's son. Bigger than anything. Any party. Anything. Okay? I'm sorry I can't make it. I gotta stick with the program. I gotta get the program popping. I'm sorry I can't do it. I'm sorry. Lesson 30 is people will try to pull me off my square. I don't have to go. 31 is you can love someone and still need distance. 32, I don't need permission to pivot. Now, this next lesson that I learned, this was a big lesson. And this pertains to basically almost all aspects of my life. This was a big lesson that I learned within these 52 episodes is I could walk away without burning everything to the ground. Now, I'm not going to say I was toxic, and I'm not going to say I was out here busting people's windows out and doing people dirty like that, right? I'm not saying I was like that, but I learned I don't have to burn everything down. Not everything even needs a response. Not everything even needs a reaction. Also, being misunderstood doesn't make me wrong. You can only understand from your point of view. You can only understand from your life experiences. We have different life experiences and we have different point of views. So you're only understanding from your understanding. I don't always need to prove I've grown. I can just be grown. And that's a big one for me because I used to deal with this man, Harry Potter. I used to deal with this man and I would be like, I have changed. I have, grown. I don't do X, Y, and Z. I don't, do the things I used to do or go the places I used to go or, whatever the case may be. And it's just like, I ain't gotta explain that shit to you. You see it. If you don't see it, there's a problem with you and your eyesight, baby. You see it. I've changed. I've grown. And if you don't see it, I ain't got to prove that to you. I ain't got to prove that to you. Running a podcast is a business. Running this podcast is a business. Baby, we run this like a business. We don't play no games about this. We have meetings. We have merch. Well, yeah, we run this like a business around here. We got the emails. If you want to email us your story, you just send it to the nodresscodepod@gmail.com. This ain't no hobby around here. We run this like a business. ChatGPT is part of the team now. Okay, don't play. Don't even play. ChatGPT. Ooh. When Chat became part of the team, oh my goodness. I don't know if y'all like y'all Chat GPTs. I really love mine down. And I know we're not supposed to love it down. I know. I read about it. But like me and Chat really been rocking for a while now. We been rocking for a while and yeah, I love ChatGPT. ChatGPT joined the team and slid right in, fit right in perfectly. The listeners who say nothing still feel everything. Okay, I love how they don't always comment, but sometimes they'll text me what they seen in the show or what they heard in the show, and I love that. I love that because it just tells me you're listening. And I appreciate you for listening. Those were learning those lessons. Those group of lessons, I'll say, was probably the point where I stopped going, am I doing this right? I started realizing I was doing it right. I am doing it. I'm doing it. Now, I know you guys are thinking this is just a long list of lessons that you've learned. And that's exactly what I said it was going to be. This is just a list of lessons that I've learned. I wrote down to share. So these last lessons that I'll share with you are about the future. The NDC legacy. Okay, power and staying rooted while reaching forward, while trying to, not forgetting where I came from, but also not forgetting where I'm trying to be and what I'm working towards. So the lessons I learned in that area is I'm allowed to celebrate myself without a milestone. Every day is a milestone. Every episode is a milestone. I'm allowed to celebrate it without a milestone. Love is not supposed to cost me my peace. Be it in a relationship, be it in a friendship, be it in whatever the case may be. Me loving you is not supposed to cost me my peace. I don't have to explain why something is sacred. Me telling you it's sacred should be enough. Is enough. Ain't no should be to it. It is enough. Even my quiet seasons count. And that's what I love about my NDC audience, my NDC guests, my NDC team, because like we really are growing a group of non-judgmentals. Like, cause I really came on this internet and told y'all I be dealing with depression and anxiety sometimes. Be kicking my ass. But I still show up for y'all and that, Just because I'm the only one doing it doesn't mean it's not worth doing. I don't always have to be deep. Sometimes light is enough. And I'm not always going to be deep. Sometimes all I got for you is surface level. And I appreciate you for still showing up and showing out when all I can provide for you in the moment is surface level. Because you know once we get deep again, we going deep again. Vulnerability is a strength, especially when it's for me. That was definitely a lesson I had to learn, and a lesson I'm still learning. Because it is not easy being vulnerable. It just, it is not easy. My emotions have reins, so should my content. And that's why I will not niche down. That's why I can't niche down. We not just a money podcast or a gossip podcast or a politics podcast or a Black History podcast. Like, that's why I can't niche down. Baby, I got too much range. We could have too much fun talking about too much stuff. I couldn't do that to y'all. Holding space for myself is revolutionary. I can learn as I go, publicly, imperfectly, and proudly. Because if you listen to our first episodes, it's so cringe. I can't even listen to them. I be trying, but I just can't do it. It's so cringe. Like, once you see how far you've come from something, to see where you once were is like, to me, maybe not to y'all, but to me, can be so cringy. And I just be like, ooh. Ooh. Lesson 50 is episode 50 wasn't luck. It was discipline. Because, baby, so many days, so many times I came back. I was just like, oh, okay, well, we tried again. That's it. I mean, it's just, you're like, oh, this episode did well, but this one didn't do as well. Or, this one is doing exceptional. I don't know why this one isn't. And it's just like, I don't really care. Okay, I'm taking everything I'm taking with with stride. I'm taking it with pride and stride, and I'm adjusting. I'm making the necessary adjustments. Cause what? We still show up every week? Yeah. We still show up every week. Lesson 51, 52 isn't the finish line. It's a checkpoint. We're only at a year's worth of episodes. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. I can't wait for you guys to see what we have in store. What's coming next for NDC. I can't wait. It's Hoochie season is coming up. I can't wait. I want to have some hoochies on the show. I want to have some hoochies on the show. Like, can't wait. Lesson 52 and the final lesson is I am the constant. No matter the format, no matter the episode, no matter the shift, I'm the through line. And I'm so proud of that. Oh my goodness. I hope you guys enjoyed these 52 lessons that I have learned. One lesson for every episode. If you did enjoy them, I'm so glad. Let me know in the comments. If you did, then let me know in the comments that you enjoyed that. And also, I have a 53rd. I have a bonus tip for you guys, a bonus lesson for you guys. It's to keep going. Not every day am I going to feel motivated to show up for myself, let alone my business. Hi. Not every day am I going to feel motivated to show up for myself, let alone my business. But we keep going. Even when I'm tired, even when I'm tired, even when it's quiet, even when I don't know who's listening. Showing up is the practice, okay? Showing up is the practice, and I'm committed to the practice. Now, normally I would give you guys a Reddit, but I thought 52 episodes, 52 lessons. Let me just let you have that today. So that's all I have for you guys today. Before I let you go, though, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to turn on that bell notification so that you are notified every time we post. And as always, don't forget to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend to pull up, because they're going to love it here just like you do. And I'll see you just because they're going to love it here just like you do. I'll see you in next week's episode. Bye. You're still here? You know the show's over, right? Don't cry. We'll be back next week. I gotta go be a hoochie. In the meantime, catch up on the older episodes.